every single possibility, position, privilege, skill, training that you have acquired or have been given to you has a higher purpose other than our own benefit. Obviously, everything that we have is for our own good and for the sake of many other people that will be blessed, inspired, comfort, healed by our contribution. Sometimes we tend to think that we need more, that we really, really need more. Actually, the case could be that what you really need and what I really need, what we all need, is to use faithfully what we have been given, what we have acquired, the successes that we have already accomplished, the training that we already have, the skills that we already recognize, to use them faithfully, and to continue to inspire and bless other people. Obviously, the successes that we have, in part, are the result of our own efforts, the contribution and support of other people, and mainly the presence, the contribution, the providence, and the grace of God. Thinking about that, I'm reminded of Esther, the Queen Esther story. Chapter 4 of the book of Esther tells us that Esther was given an amazing position and possibility in life. She was an unknown person, basically, within the empire, within the Persian Empire. She was just one more person there. However, Providence, God chose her, and she was trained by her cousin, Mordecai. And Mordecai raised her faithfully, intentionally, and with the idea that somehow, maybe like Moses, he saw in Esther something special, and therefore cared for her and prepared her for a destiny that probably she was not aware of. And maybe even Mordecai wasn't probably not necessarily aware of her possibility. Who knows? However, he faithfully raised her and blessed her and supported her and promoted her to a place of possibility, to a place of greatness. Then the time came when she was elected the Queen of Persia. That was an amazing thing. That was an amazing accomplishment. However, she was not just a beauty queen. There is no normally beauty queens, but she was not just a beauty queen. Because normally, the Miss Universe and Miss World, and there's these beautiful women that are chosen among many across the world these days. Their moment, their celebration, their privilege lasts only for 1 year. However, Esther was not just a beauty or a queen of beauty. She was a person chosen to exercise influence in the life of the king as his wife, also in the life of others. She was given that amazing opportunity and privilege. It's important to remember that she was given that possibility in providence, in the providence of God. Mordecai heard the plan that Haman had against the Jewish people. He realized that there was something that needed to be done, and that was in Esther's hands. So he sent her, a request for her to intercede for her people, his people, their people. And Esther somehow was so into her role, into her privilege, into her comfort, that she probably was afraid to take a risk and to move forward into this request. At one point, Mardochai have to confront her because she was giving him great reasons why no, or why not to answer to his request. Mardochai was clear that this was a matter of life and death. And so he needed to push a little bit more. And sometimes we need that little push and that strong push to really understand that what we have been given for a higher purpose, greater than ourselves, greater than our own story, includes the story, our story, but it goes beyond our own story. It goes to the level of thinking beyond your own self and thinking around other people, beyond other people, meaning your family, your people. It is more than you. It is more than your own family. It's more than your own story. It is more than my story, my own ideas and possibilities. So at this point, Esther is confronted and she responded really well. If you can read with me, Esther chapter 4, verse 14, Mardochai said to her, "For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your father's family will perish." Basically, it sounds like Adam and Eve, when they were told, if you eat from this tree, you will also perish. Yeah, it's basically when they made the decision to satisfy themselves, to get more than what they really needed, they basically fulfilled that warning that God gave them. If you eat from this fruit, you will perish. And they did somehow, right? And so Mardochai is basically using the same words. If you don't do this, you will perish. In this case, if you do the other thing, like if you embrace comfort and security for yourself, you will perish. But if you embrace your people and take the risk, you will flourish. Why? Because God is interested in the whole story, the big picture, the story of your story, our story, the whole story, the human history, the story of humanity, basically. Not only human history, but it's the story of humanity. And then he adds, and who knows, but that you have come to our royal position for such a time as this. Yeah, maybe the position that you have, that I have, is a royal position. It's a privileged position. And maybe that's the reason you have it today, and I have it today. Maybe you say, well, I don't have a lot. I have some, but not a lot. Well, whatever you got is being given to you to use it on behalf of yourself, your family, and others. So then Esther sent this reply to Mardochai, "Go and gather together all the Jewish who are in Susa and fast for me. Do not eat and drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my attendants will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish." So from comfortability, from comfort to challenge, from challenge to embracing a possibility of saving her people and interceding for her people, and from that to taking a huge risk, even greater than what she was asked. And she was able and willing to put her life on the line, to make sure her people will not perish. So this is great. This is awesome. I will invite you to think about that. Have you thought and and pray for your people? And have you considered the possibility of using your resources, your skill, your abilities, your education, your privileges to bless your people? Those who are at risk within your people, meaning not only a racial background, but I'm talking about your people, whatever that might mean to you. Whatever that means to you, it could be probably your country, it could be probably your city, your town. I don't know. But please use what you have been given. Let's use what we have been given to the glory of God, to blessing our own lives and our families, But go beyond that. Let's go beyond that. Let's create a bigger circle. Ourselves and our family, others, and why not, beyond, so that we can be the blessing that God intended us to be. Be like an Esther, like a Mordecai, thinking beyond their comfort zone and embracing risk, trusting the God who saves the world. May the Lord bless you. This is Alfredo Delgado, Dr. Alfredo Delgado, talking to you, serving as a pastor in Southern California. May the Lord bless you today. Bye-bye.